I fully share the European Parliament's view regarding the political situation in Albania. The lack of constructive political dialogue and the lack of settlement of disagreements following the June 2009 elections between government and opposition are of concern. Both sides need to return to constructive political dialogue and find a solution based on respect for the constitution and transparency. OSCE ODIHR recommendations need to be fully addressed in view of the spring 2011 local elections. The Commission has made IPA instrument for pre-accession assistance financial support in the area of the judiciary and law enforcement one of its main priorities, allocated some €55 million in the period 2007-2010. On the freedom and independence of media, more needs to be done. The legal framework needs to be completed. Transparency of media ownership shall be tackled. Intimidation and influence on journalists are of concern. The timing and scope of Kosovo's progress is determined by Kosovo itself. We launched the Stabilisation and Association Process dialogue with Kosovo in January. A full cycle of sector meetings has been completed. We are also moving forward on visas. The Council agreed that Kosovo should progress with the perspective of eventual visa liberalisation once all conditions are met. Kosovo still needs to ensure reintegration arrangements are adequate to cope with the returnees in a satisfactory manner. We are in a very close touch with Pristina to provide guidance and support. For the first time this year, Kosovo will take part in IPA cross-border cooperation programmes with the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia and Albania, and this programme with Montenegro will follow next year. In conclusion, the year ahead will be an important phase for Albania, Kosovo and the region at large. Concerning Kosovo, whatever the International Court of Justice will say, I trust the European Union will continue to actively engage with Kosovo to ensure it stays connected to developments in the rest of the Western Balkans.
Das Europäische Parlament unterstützt den Freiheitskampf des leidgeplagten Kosovo seit 20 Jahren. Ich erinnere an unsere Sacharow-Preisträger Rugova und Demaci. Seit 6 Jahren setzte sich für die Unabhängigkeit des Kosovo ein, zuletzt in seiner Entschließung 2007, der dann 2008 die Unabhängigkeitserklärung der Republik Kosovo folgte.
Albánie ztrácí příliš mnoho energie i příliš drahocenného času neschopností vlády a opozice najít vzájemnou shodu a spolupracovat na životně důležitých prioritách společně. Mezi tyto priority patří i dosažení konsenzu ohledně voleb v roce 2009. Zde je nutné, aby všechny politické strany převzaly zodpovědnost, zapojily se do dialogu a naplnily rozhodnutí o ustavení parlamentního vyšetřovacího výboru s cílem vypracovat potřebné změny volebního zákona, a to ještě před konáním.
In recent months, the presidents of the Christian Democrats and the Social Democrats in the European Parliament have made great efforts to solve the political crisis in Albania through visits and through working with their sister parties. But even these high-level efforts have proven unsuccessful. In May, we had the first joint parliamentary committee. And as well-willing as most of us in the European Parliament began this meeting, so discouraged we were by the way in which the counterparts from Albania used the time in Brussels for internal quarrels, damaging Albania's image.
Kosovo can't join the EU because 5 EU member states refuse to recognise its sovereignty. Corruption remains a huge problem in Kosovo, which is also a major transit centre for illegal narcotics and people trafficking, and the economy is far too dependent on EU and Western aid, and there seems to be no easy way out of this impasse. 10 years ago, in a personal capacity, I advocated partition as an answer to the problem, and this is a solution many Serbian politicians favour, but one that few Western politicians would countenance for now.